is generally the introductory session is a group setting, or it can be private, but then we meet one-on-one with the couple for individual follow-ups to tailor the system to their needs, their cycles, whatever their needs may be. And then we really try to foster respect for their marriage and for the marital embrace within their marriage. So.
Let's move the microphone down here to Kathy and Harold Gray. They're going to talk about this Sympto-Thermal model.
Harold and I teach for an organization called the Couple to Couple League. We've been teaching for about 34 years now, all the way through our fertility years. The Sympto-Thermal method involves checking your basal body temperature daily, along with the signs of mucus and optional cervix sign. And then we use it in a cross-checking manner to determine the fertile time. I like the Sympto-Thermal when we were first studying this because it gives husband active participation. A lot of girls that we've taught will drop the temperatures and go with mucus. She said mucus is very reliable, but I liked that it was the temperature is objective, and it wasn't relying on my interpretation because it was there. And it gave Harold active participation. So he was in charge of our charts. He was in charge of handing me a thermometer every day. Mm-hmm. And he knew, because he had the charts in his nightstand drawer, he didn't have to ask me when we were fertile or not fertile. He knew by the chart. And I knew by my changes in my body that I was probably getting close to ovulation. And, so we could anticipate together. The class that we teach is 3 classes, 2 hours each in length. We usually do it as a group also, but we can do one-on-one at home. We do that a lot too.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that the way we teach is a couple thing. That's why I'm here tonight amongst all these women. But anyway, it's we encourage couples to come to take the classes. We present. We also present from the man's point of view as to what's going on and help him understand what's going on in his wife's fertility cycles and things like that. So. And it's kind of a good thing. Back when we first started, we were taking temperatures with a mercury thermometer, which is, it's a little bit more involved. And, sometimes people would get, we'd just drop the thermometer and do the mucus only. And that's fine, too. We present all the signs, and you can use mix or match and any of that kind of stuff. But with the current digital thermometers, your temperature is taken in 15 seconds, so it's not that big a hassle. But she would say I'd be responsible for the thermometer because I had to be. If she's so sleepy in the morning, if it's up to her to get it and get her temperature done correctly, it would probably never happen. So it's a little bit fun in that regard. But
our organization also is trying to move along with the times, and they do have an app for your phone or your iPad that will chart your fertility. Since we're past charting now, we have not tried the new app, and I don't know anyone that does. We do encourage couples to learn it because you don't want to rely on your app. You got to understand why the app's telling you that it's safe or not safe. But anyway, they are moving along with the times.
Yeah, and I do want to encourage. All the things that Teresa said about the benefits of NFP and helping marriages and things like that. Any of the methods you choose can do that. It's just really a blessing on marriages, and that's what we found over the years that we've, with people we've taught and things like that, and in our own relationship too. It's been a blessing for us. So, it's kind of an encouraging thing.
Now we're going to pass on to Dr. Myers.
I wanted to let you guys know that this is really uncanny, but 16 years ago, Kathy and Harold Gray taught me the STM method, my husband and I the STM method. So, and this is the first time I'm seeing them since then. So, that's really special. So, And I do remember I was fresh out of medical school or residency, and when we took this class, my husband and I had just gotten married. And it's funny how some things kind of just stick in your mind. And I remember, I don't remember which one of you said this in the class, but I think at that time, it was 1997, you said you had 3 kids. I think at that time, and you were trying to decide if you were going to have more. And I remember thinking, yes, it does work. They've been married for a while, and they only have 3 kids. Yes, it does work. And so I remember that sticking in my mind. They don't have 10 kids, or not that I have opposed to the Duggar family or anything like that. But I was just remembering that because I was a newlywed and thinking, oh my gosh, is this really going to work? So anyway, we use the STM method, my husband and I, for all our 4 kids. And on our 4th child, who's now 8 years old, I was having a hard time with taking the temperature in the morning, and I was just, being a busy mom like you all know about doing that. I was just really struggling with getting up in the morning at the same time every day. And so, and also with observing my mucus, I've never been really that great with observing my mucus, and it's so subjective, So I was struggling with that, and I was doing adoration with somebody by the name of Susan Roscoe. I don't know, some of you may know her. And she was actually teaching Marquette method of NFP at the time. And so she said, Maria, why don't you take this class from me? And she said, you don't have to take your temperature at all. She said, all you have to do is pee on a stick and put it into a monitor. And she said, that's it, basically. And I was all for that. If I didn't have to take my temperature, I was really for that. So I said, okay, I'll take this class from you. So it was a series of 4 classes, and so that's how I learned the method. This is the hormonal monitoring system here. So I want to show that to you. This is my own monitor. And what it does is there's several prototypes that were started in the 1990s. It was actually developed in Europe by a Swedish company. And they had some prototypes before this one. But the main reason why it was actually even invented was to achieve pregnancy, not to avoid pregnancy, but achieve it. And so researchers at the Marquette University in Wisconsin, they were reproductive endocrinologists, OBGYNs, Dr. Richard Faring, who's in charge of the NFP Institute there, got together with some OBGYNs and said, we can use this hormonal monitoring system and integrate it into the research that's been done with NFP. They took courses in the Creighton model method. They took courses in the STM method. They researched the Billings ovulation method. So they had all of this information already from all these other wonderful methods of NFP, and they tried to integrate that together, did the research, and tried to use a hormonal monitor to integrate that with that. And so that's how they came up with this Marquette model. And that was in 1998 when this started. And they've continued to do research since then. So what it is, basically, is what you do is you, in the morning, you wake up and you're going to, if you use this model, you pee on a stick, and it measures 2 hormones. One is estrogen, and the second one is LH. After your cycle, your menstruation cycle, which lasts usually in a normal cycle about 5 to 7 days, you're going to have the production of estrogen. That's released from the follicle in your ovary, where the egg is, under the influence of something called FSH. And so that estrogen, that's responsible for your mucus that you have. So all that good mucus that you have is the reason why you have that is because your body is producing estrogen. That's a normal part of your cycle. This hormonal monitoring system has 3 levels of fertility. Low, that's when you're on your period. The second one is high. That's when your estrogen is being produced. So when you see those 2 lines on there, that's telling you you're in your high fertility. That's because your estrogen, that mucus, is being produced. That's getting you ready for ovulation, and if you're wanting to plan your pregnancy there, that's when you would have relations. And then your 3rd level of fertility is your high, your peak, and it gives you 2 days of peak on here. And it shows a little egg too, so you know that you're ovulating. So and that's the other hormone that's being produced is your luteinizing hormone, LH. So that's making you drop the egg or ovulate, okay? So there's low, high, and peak. And that's giving you your fertility window right there. So it's very simple, and there's an algorithm that goes with it, a little fertility algorithm